So now that we're done with House of David season 1, what are my thoughts of it overall, and what are the overwhelming kind of like outcomes that we're seeing from people kind of all over the place? Number one, I'll say that I was really surprised with this series. I thought it was going to be good. I thought it was going to be okay. I thought the writing was going to be okay. I thought that the cinematography was going to be okay. I knew that they had a decent sized budget, but I did not think it was going to be as good as it was, especially the first few episodes. I really blew me away. Now, of course, I'm going to have my criticisms of every single show that I look at. Of course, I'm going to have my nitpicks of certain biblical things or whatever else that I thought they could have done a little bit more accurately or whatever, right? But at the end of the day, for this to be a Christian TV show that is this good, it's never been done before, right? Like The Chosen is bringing in a whole new era of these new shows that are really high quality, that are really well done, that honestly keep the spirit of the scripture alive and pumping throughout it. And that is really great. And I think that surprises me more often than it doesn't, because I am used to Christian stuff just being bad and it just being really horrible. And every single time I watch things like The House of David or The Chosen, I have to convince myself that like, it's not just me that thinks it's good, you know? Like, am I just part of this 1% group that thinks this is really good? Or like I'm convincing myself that it's good because I want to talk about it on YouTube? But at the end of the day, I always come back to it and I'm like, no, this is actually just really good. Like the writing is just really solid. The cinematography is just amazing. The costumes and the things that are going on with this are just actually really good. And it's a funny thing to have to convince myself of that, you know? But recently we've got some outside validation, of course, all the stuff that's going on in the news about House of David and everything like that. But also on Amazon Prime as a whole, the other day, House of David hit number one out of all shows. And to tell you how big of a deal this is, there has never been another show in the Christian space that has ever done that, ever. The Chosen has come close with like a number 2 or a number 3, and even House of David premiered at number 2 for several days. It was very well done. But then when this finale hit, it went to number 1 on Amazon. That is a big deal. It's never been done before, right? So that shows you the impact that this show has had. Now, is it my favorite show of all time? Probably not. But I think it's really well done. And I think that there are a lot of things in this that we can learn from going to the future of biblical media. I think there's so much we're going to learn this year from Testament in Promised Land series and The Chosen and House of David and a lot of other stuff that's coming out, right? There's so much and it's looking so good. But yeah, man, Christians are eating good, you know? like we are just in a good spot right now where God is providing these amazing biblical series. I don't know. I just, this video is just me taking a second to be thankful for that, you know? Like for the past 4 years on YouTube, I've talked about The Chosen because The Chosen has been the only great piece of Christian media. But now, after this year, there's going to be like 6 or 7 different shows that all seem to have really high promise. And that is different than it has ever been in my lifetime. When is the last time that we can say that there are 4 or 5 shows that are faith-based that are at the top of the charts? When's the last time we could say that there is one show that is faith-based that is at the top of the charts, right? It's never been done, ever, except for maybe like the Bible series, right? Which was huge on TV at the time. And that was really big. Maybe that's the only one I can think of, right? There's never been a multi-season show about the life of Jesus other than The Chosen. There's never been a multi-season show about the life of David like this, right? They've tried to do modern day spin-offs. They've tried to do some other things like that they thought would work, and it just hasn't. It's all bombed. And I think the people that are behind these projects, I trust, right? So I think of like Dallas Jenkins. Obviously, I'm the closest with him out of any of these directors, but I trust him, right? Not that he's never going to get anything wrong. Not that he's ever going to do like he's going to do some things that I dislike or that I disagree with, right? Which is fine. That's always going to happen. but I really trust him to make something that I believe is central to the gospel, right? Same thing with John Irwin. I really truly believe John Irwin and John Gunn, who are kind of the main runners on House of David, I think that they have a real grasp on the faith and a real grasp on where this show should go and how they manage it, right? It's not some Hollywood executive that's like randomly like, oh, here's my big bag of money, you know? And they're just jumping into it like that. I think these are real people who have, who you can have real trust in. And that's really amazing. I think of the same thing of Paul Sirstad with Testament series. I've met him in person. I've talked to him several times. He seems like a legit dude who has like an actual like foundation, right? My interview with the Light of the World guys, they're doing a 2D animated movie on the Book of John, right? Comes out in September. They are really great guys as well. They have a solid foundation of understanding of Christianity. They, like, when I talk to them, I hear the voice of Jesus, right? And with all these guys, it's the same. Same thing with Mitch Hudson, right? Who's doing the Promised Land series. He was part of the Chosen team for a long time, but now he's doing Promised Land series, which is, he's still working on the Chosen, but he's also on Promised Land series, which is, his own show. And the people that are surrounding that are really solid people. Like, you just don't get that, right? Like, you don't often get that, but because of what the Chosen has done, it's allowed people that are surrounding the Chosen or near the Chosen, like, John Irwin is close friends with Dallas. So it makes sense that he would want to do something similar, right? Mitch Hudson worked for the Chosen, worked for the Kendrick brothers. He was in the space for a long time, and now he's doing his own thing, right? And I know Paul Sirstad was inspired by the Chosen to do his own thing of the Book of Acts and more of a modern day retelling. And I don't know, man. There's just so much to this that I'm like, it's just so cool. Like, God has clearly made this for this time in this place. He's clearly brought me for this time in this place. He's clearly brought you as an audience for this time in this place. And what does that look like? What is the next 5 or 10 years of biblical media look like, you know? Yeah, man. I don't know. I love dreaming about that kind of stuff. So anyway, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on The Chosen. Let me know your thoughts on these other biblical series. House of David, #1 on Amazon. Out of everything they have on there. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Including these new releases that are coming out right now. Man, it's impressive. It shows that there's something that God is doing right now. So anyway, let me know your thoughts. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.